This is the best Saturday I've had in years.
We're here. Alberta. Here we come. Hey, thanks. Howdy, howdy.
I'm Matt.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Quinn.
Yeah.
Quinn. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Jim.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I always like to think that the first step, or one of the first steps as you do, is what is the scope of the project? Are we doing a full rebuild? Are we only doing certain pivots? It's happened before where even we, who do this every week, every day, have come to a job and taken too much off or done things that cost us more time overall. So we're going through the parts, we're going through the scope of work, and we're going to determine what's the best way to attack this.
Once we get everything torn down, this is probably a good place to start. Doing your main opener arm pins and bushings up front.
When it's not loaded, as they say.
It's not loaded, yeah.
When the rows are the lightest.
I want to have the most stuff off.
Yeah, they're the easiest to handle then.
Okay, yeah.
And you've got the install tool for that, so that'll go like a dream. You're gonna have to teach us all the Canadian sayings. So one of them I think is cooking with gas. Now we're cooking with gas, right?
That's a good one.
Yep. A. Yep. Let's get a lot of A's in there today.
That'll be good, eh?
Oh, look at those beauties.
I told him I wanted some nice seed tubes because we were always cussing in the field that couldn't get hoses on and off. And
Yeah, you're gonna like those. Just in your mind, just in your head.
oh yeah. Okay.
Got some hose here. That'll be
Then are these all for the air cart here? All that package probably.
Yep. This is. We got 1 meter housing we're doing. Which tank are we doing? Front? Back one. Yep. So we're gonna do the back tank today.
We'd like to do all three, but
the front one we got.
Look at those. The notch discs. How do you guys like the notch discs?
we really like. We bought you guys' notch discs
I see that.
the last while there, and I don't know. We even seeded with these discs in the fall through winter wheat. And we were concerned at where the combine drove and packed the winter wheat stubble down, and it was all tall stubble because we stripped it. We were worried that it wouldn't cut through it as well, but with these discs here, it cut right through it.
No pinching whatsoever.
Even though they're worn some, they don't look like they're new.
No, I wonder how many acres we got on those now.
We've got about 3,000 acres on them.
3,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long would your round disc normally last?
I don't know. We bought this drill that had round discs on it. We ran it for a year or two.
A year.
1 year, and then we threw them off and put your guys' notch discs on.
Okay.
So
Cool. So like they were talking, they put these notch discs on 3 years ago, and just this last fall, we're running into some pretty tough conditions, and they're worried about it cutting into those combine tracks where the compaction was and all the stubble. And even with them pretty worn, they're still pretty sharp. We've seen them wear and stay sharp. As long as there's nubs on here, they seem to stay sharp in most conditions. And they were very satisfied with the result, and that's why they had the confidence to put them on all the rows and make sure that this thing's always going to be cutting good, not hairpinning as much, and really doing a great job for them. Another great step is to get this thing jacked up, moved up, raised up about a foot. If you can get this thing elevated, even if it's 6 inches, if that's all you can get, it makes a world of a difference than being on the ground. So flat surface, concrete preferred. Obviously climate controlled lighting is the best, which we have today, but that's not always the situation you're in. But getting it up about a foot allows us to lower these row units. Notice how these rows, they're more vertical. If we went up a little bit more, we could possibly go down more, but these are just about hanging straight up and down. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these arms off, and now we're gonna have a throwaway that we can easily skid through here with either a creeper or a rolling chair. Now that we're on to the rebuild or install portion of the job, we're gonna look at, okay, what needs to be replaced and what are we gonna do today? We talked about taking care of these springs. I believe we're gonna do pivots. You can check the condition of your arms. Are they stuck? You can tell that these press wheels, firming wheels are sloppy and bad. This is very common. Here's one that the bearing has gone out and the wheel's fallen off. We have new wheels that are gonna go on. I know that we have some new gauge wheels. I think it's for the front rank. We're gonna put anything that needs to be replaced. Depth adjusters are stuck. A lot of those are stuck. See how that doesn't wanna move? We can't even adjust these things. So we're gonna put new depth adjusters in and get that working. The main pins. These main pins, look how sloppy the row is. You see how much that moves around? We're gonna get that replaced. I believe we're taking care of boots, but we'll see. It looks like there's, see, that one's got the Need a Mag boot pivot fix where the bushings are in the boot. Unfortunately, that loosens up too often, and then it gets like this. Nothing wrong with that pivot. You just gotta make sure they stay tight. And we'll see if we got the stabilizers to put in there, and that'll also tighten it up and keep it tight. This one's good. We definitely need new boots. These are pretty worn, so we're gonna get new boots on here, I believe. What in the world is this hose doing here? You're gonna wanna stick around and find out what is so unique about this. It's related to carbon capture. Stay tuned. Well, you're almost done with the easy rank on taking those off. And then you gotta go in here. We'll send one of the young guys, the young guns. Maybe me. Maybe I'll go in. Quinn, you'll go in, right?
As long as I have my carpet to crawl on, once you get these off, then you can just crawl through, right?
Then there's a lot of good room.
Yeah.
This is the best Saturday I've had in years. Yeah. We're just taking all the discs off, all the press wheels, all the gauge wheels. The guys up in the front are doing the same thing. We'll go through, get the discs off, and yeah, just keep grinding.
Everyone take a pause. We got breakfast. Do you want us to bring it to you?
No.
That's the bummer, is getting out now. Breakfast sandwiches.
It was a warm welcome.
Best. We'll get a quick update on the drill side. So the guys have gotten all the gauge wheels off, closing alarms, discs are coming off. They're right here on that part. Next, the pinch bolt for the main pin's gonna come off. We're gonna take that one off. We're gonna take these boot bolts out. And even if we can't get this one out, which this one often snaps off, if it does, we're gonna take a hammer and sacrifice these boots. They're getting replaced. We just whack them hard, break them, and then that tube will come off. These tubes are getting replaced as well. So they're marking the number of the row unit, so we know which ones are straight, which ones are curved. As you can see, we've got a right-hand curved one here, and then a lot of these are straights. It's really important to have the right orientation, otherwise bad things can happen, whether it's hoses that kink, or one time we smacked a gland and blew the hydraulic cylinder. So that was a bad day, but yeah, we just try to watch what we're doing and put it back the way it was and watch for clearances. Here's that disc, still got a little life in it. We're gonna put these on the front rank. They don't use the front rank as much. Thought was, let's just get these on there. They're better than what's on there. The front ones are pretty bad. They're maybe 16 inches. These are like 17 3/4. So they got a lot of life left in diameter, and the sharpness is still good enough. But that's 3 seasons with this farm, and they really like them. Doing well. Dry land, some irrigated. How's it going down there, Quinn? Quinn! He's got his tunes going.
I know, he's in the zone.
Yeah, he is. I think we'd have to drop something on him to get him to reply. You guys can't even see him down there. How's it going down there?
100%.
Good. Awesome.
We're moving.
So what I'm doing is I'm going around and I'm putting the instructions, corresponding instructions, with the parts that they go with. That way when the guys pull them, they'll actually read the instructions. It'll be right there. They don't have to sift sift through all the paperwork. Here I'm gonna assemble the meter housing parts before we put it up. So I've grabbed my stainless steel parts installation manual, which is pretty thorough. And then this is for the lower, of how to do the lower. So I'm gonna put this one over here with the lower. Remove the old components. Done. Prepare the meter housing. Not done. All right. This step will use hardware and meter housing kit SSH K05. Look at that. It's like we planned it this way.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty slick, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can pull this off. That was easy. I wonder, maybe I can get it to go the rest of the way by going a little off here. There we go. Perfect. Stainless steel agitators from Ready. Pretty slick. This thing went in like a dream. Let's see if I can do this by myself. Not recommended, but worth a try. Very important that you use a rubber mallet or a dead blow, something that cannot damage this stainless. Too many times we see guys hitting this with something steel, something hard, and it really boogers up the thin stainless funnel. Not the best idea. Hopefully yours goes up as easy as this one did. In this ladder hardware kit, almost everybody does not do the top ladder bolts. You can if you want to, but who cares if it stays up there and it's corroded as long as it's still attached, which usually they're attached. Also, it is absolutely critical that you use a nickel-based anti-seize. People have tried to use different anti-seizes in the past. It has caused galling, and they seize together. Now you gotta chop it off. You cannot proceed, you have to get a new bolt. So nickel-based anti-seize, try not to throw these bolts around and nick the threads. Stainless is very finicky with the nuts galling on the threads of the bolt. Generous amount. By the way, having a set of gear wrenches is huge efficiency gain. They call them ratchet wrenches, and old gear wrench has got the name, but this angle one came in handy, but you can get by with a flat one too. I used two in this case, and it worked great for getting up in there and getting these tight. We put these urethane caps on to protect the threads in shipping and handling. You're never going to get this seal all the way up, but you want to push it up in the corners and get it up as far as it seems like it'll let you. And then the top plate, when we squeeze it up with the nuts, as we pull it up tight, it'll squeeze it up into place and seal it up really good. Don't forget the anti-seize. Another thing, anytime you thread something on, I like to re-coat it with anti-seize, so that way you just always make sure it gets a good coat of anti-seize. Especially when these nylock ones go on, it kind of squeegees it all off. So That's a really good idea. Okay, this thing's really good, ready to go. Should be all sealed in here good. Push the foam. See how the foam squeezed up past the funnel there?
It looks really good.
That's how it's supposed to be. What is this pipe? I see it going along the cart and on the drill and presumably to a tractor?
Yep. So what it is it captures all the carbon coming from the exhaust coming from the tractor.
Make sure you like and subscribe to keep up on all the fresh content posted weekly, which includes helpful tips and tricks, new products, and various adventures. Also, make sure you check out Reddy's website to shop our performance air seeder solutions.